I'm going to make a reference again to some old stuff. Lent has just ended, a period that commemorates what they say called the fasting of Jesus in the wilderness, his temptations by the devil, his triumph over the devil, and his triumph over the devil, which marked the commencement of his ministry. So, can we have the Newman document some of his encounters with the dark forces and his triumph over them in the course of establishing the new presentation?
Well, the books are, that's funny, Charles. Yes, Conquering the Devil. That's really kind of funny. And the reality is, it's really not that. Those are cute little stories, aren't they? And this, in a way, justifies, I'll just use this idea, it justifies the continuous battle of things here. Those cute little stories, which were written by the cabal or the reptilians, enhance the idea that, hey, it's okay to battle and destroy things that you don't like or don't seem to be in place. See, it kind of justifies that, doesn't it? And so, again, it's not about that. It's not about battling, I'm not battling the dark forces or the Cal Force, this is all part of creation, you see, and the Supreme Deceptor, which I talk about in book 4, The Adventures of Rebus Zartaros, which is beyond the gods of man, which the gods of man don't even recognize. Okay, so again, it's not about that. It's about recognizing what's going on. And then when you become indifferent to it, okay, it's going to affect the body and stuff. It affects me. I've been attacked many times and constantly attacked and constantly put in jeopardy to where they want to destroy me. That's just how it is, because they don't want us here. They don't want anything. That's why Val's going through, and we're going through this at the college. They don't want us here. It looks official, and it's like, well, you're not obeying the rules, or you didn't fill out the form right. Forms. It's all about forms, okay? This is where I created a forum, and we'll probably create some more fun forums. But, all these things that are taking place, it's really rather humorous. It's not, see, people have been marketed again into the angels and God are battling the devil. Does this make sense? No, it's a put on. It's a put on to keep people confused. There's no battle in life. Are the birds battling each other? Once in a while they have disagreements. Is the sun battling another sun for jurisdiction or a district that it's in? Are the stars battling each other? Again, things demonstrate itself. Does the natural environment battle itself? No. But this stuff is all created by knuckleheads on the planet Earth to control other people that are unaware. Everybody that's doing these things, and the governments of the world and all these things and all these systems, they're all afraid. They're all afraid to step up and be real. They've taught each other to be afraid, and so they are. And then they teach others to be afraid. And so the best they can do, because they're so bored, is battle each other. So they justify it. They create armies. They create standing armies. They create all this weaponry. Hey, we're in the atomic age. We can blow up the world. Hey, they just think they're so smart. Do the birds have standing armies? Did the Indians even have standing armies? No, they defended themselves, of course, and they prepared themselves, but they didn't march up and down and practice, and they practiced with the bow and arrow. Now, mainly it was to hunt, just to survive. It's survival. And battles, so we see battles in history like the Romans and the Europeans, because those are the original reptilians, etc. And they brought, they created the United States to take over a country. And so, their whole history is battling because it's control. And so, no, not going to do anything like that presents itself accordingly. And so these cute little stories of that. And it's not about that. Once you have recognition, it's so cool. You can sidestep all this nonsense. It's just to see where the bear traps are. It's like a man that's walking out in the minefield, and he knows where the minefields are. But when people don't, they get blown up. And that's just how it is, because others have set traps for them. So they are blown up. This is what nonsense this world is. It's all nonsense. So everybody has armies, everybody has military weapons, etc. What? To get ready to battle each other and to constantly threat each other. Keep the threat alive is the whole idea. Keep the fear. And what it's really doing is the public doesn't realize. The public is thinking, yeah, we want bigger weapons than Russia. We have bigger missiles and whatever. So you get the public behind this and all this agreement, to where the controllers stay in control and people are in their own human farming. They don't see what they're agreeing to. And then it started off with these cute little stories of Jesus in the desert for 40 years. And he was, influenced, the devil was trying to influence him. All these cute little stories to psychologically trap people into justifying resistance and battling the dark forces. And you see it in the movies too. Well, these are fun adventures and you learn from them, but it's not about that. You can do better. Again, when the world wars are going on, does the sun or the birds or the animals, do they take part? Are the white birds against the blackbirds? No, it's not so at all. You don't see hordes of birds or animals fighting each other. Maybe you'll see a couple male rams or bulls out there fighting each other for, the attention of the female. You'll see that. But very seldom, if ever, will you see hordes of them like humans do. Again, it's control. These things are propaganda. They're marketed a particular way, and they're very good at it because people are just suck up these ideas into being marketed. And so, see, I recognize these things, and so that's why I don't go along with them, because they all go nowhere, to where they always have, into more unconscious lives, and it becomes a bloody mess. And it's still there. It's still there. And they justify all the destruction. They always justify the destruction, and they get people to agree. And you see it in the movies too. Again, the politicians, they're always working on different avenues to get the public to agree. And they're always talking about that. It's like, behind closed doors, the politicians, it's like, okay, if we let this out to the media, the public's going to see it, and what are they going to think of us? So we've got to do something to make it look like that they will agree to the destruction and deception we're doing. See, this is what these people do 24 hours a day. And in most people's minds, they're thinking that these people are doing something, to make things work better. No, they're not. They're 24 hours a day. The whole system that's created is to make sure that everybody stays dumbed down and deceived. And this is what they do 24 hours a day. This is your job, as a congressman or a politician or president or whatever. This is your whole job, is to keep everybody deceived. But they got to make it look they got to make it look a certain way to where people accept it, and it's like a good thing. Just like what Monsanto produces. Hey, it's a good thing. And now the chemtrails and the geoengineering, hey, this is all a good thing. It's all good for you. See, they've marketed it in a particular way. So they put it into the textbooks, which Val and Kelsey have seen, and this geoengineering thing, they just slip it into things, and to where it's, it becomes acceptable little by little. At first, people don't notice it, but then all of a sudden it's been there for years, and then people are thinking, oh, well, it's been in the textbooks for years. It must be okay. You see, so all those cute little stories from the Bible and all these doctrines, guess where they came from? Yeah, there were certain individuals that did bring messages here, but again, just like what I'm producing, hey, they're taking it and they're moving it around. They're moving it around and using it in a particular way, and they're putting their little slants on it. Okay, so it looks the same, but there's a little bit different twist there. And really, where does it go to? Anyone can take the rearranged words that I'm using, but guess what? It's not going to work. Joni can take whatever I say verbatim. It ain't going to work, because life itself, that is all aware, will not back it. There's no backing there. There's just a black void. And who moves in? The reptilians. They love the black void. And they move in and they take over. This is what happened to the hue and everything else, mainly the hue. And the hue was just temporary anyhow, till I got here. And it was all set up. And the boys knew that because everything's temporary here. And now it's all infected. It don't work. It doesn't work at all. None of it. It's actually destructive. You may as well drink poison because that's what you're doing when you're hewing, or Amen, or or any of these things, Hare Krishna or whatever, because the reptilians got all of it. And it's not about a belief. Look at it in the real side. Really make sense of it. Take a look at what's going on. The higher initiates and many of the initiates in Ek are dying left and right of cancers, as an example, and other paths too. They're all getting infected, and we all are because of the world, yes. But the real side is awesome when you see it, and there's so much to it. It's endless, and it's not easy to see, you know. It's more so than becoming any doctor or scientist or whatever, and this is the whole of life. But, you know, everything applies itself, doesn't it, Charles? And so this is our adventure, and I see it as quite unique. But again, you have to take the leap from your literal mind, and until you do, guess what? You're stuck with it, really. And it's agonizing to people. This is where they get pissed off at what I'm presenting, because they really can't see it, and it really bothers them, because within themselves, their real awareness is struggling to wake up, you know, past what they've convinced themselves about for lifetimes. Yes, it is a struggle. I see it with myself. I'm not perfect here. I'm just doing the best I can. I have this little self too, you know, and I don't like a lot of things about it because it's very limiting. Yeah. But we just deal with it a step at a time. And so you're here, you're helping provide this. And others, we're giving something out. It's doing something. Otherwise, if we weren't here, which the world does not want us here, there'd be nothing. Because this place is dark, and it's only getting darker. And so again, we're doing something that does make sense. Yes, Charles, go ahead.